So today on Project Shop, we have an absolute mess over here. We got scrap kind of all over the place. I cleaned up a little bit, but what we're going to do now is I'm going to clean up this area right here so I can get that forklift up out of here. I'm going to use that plywood and that plate and the actual forklift ramp plate to get it as far that way as I can, because we need to get everything off of here. While I have the Kubota, which is right over there, here for about a week or so, maybe even more, I'm not really going to need that, and I need to get it off of this slab. So I'm going to clean this stuff up out of the way, move those bins. I'm actually going to start throwing steel in those bins to try to clean this up a little bit. And then I got my lawnmower under there, and my fifth wheel and the barrel clamp and that light, which I'll start up over here, and then I can make a path. I mean, I can run the forklift probably out to about here, but then once that back end starts sinking, we got problems. Now it's no problem because I can just push it with the machine, or if I didn't have that, drag it with my truck like I did to get it up in here. But unfortunately, it's time on the uneven concrete has come to an end. Because unfortunately, another problem I'm having is I'm going to have to put this concrete somewhere temporarily if I remove it tomorrow. Because I have to go pick up my dump trailer, which is actually full of concrete from something else. It's down there in Palm Beach at the moment. So I got to figure out how I'm going to get that back up here with my schedule. I might just have to leave early one morning before probably the day I rip this out, I'll have to go leave early to go get it. Bring it up here, and then there's some scrap, some concrete that we're going to be using for a backstop for a gun range. So yeah, I'm going to get the light set up and then clean this area up real quick, and then we're going to come back here. The reason I'm doing a little scrapping tonight is tomorrow I have to go to Miami. A customer of mine, a real good customer, one of my first original customers, asked me if I could come pick up a 1,000-pound transformer. I don't want to drive down there just to pick up a 1,000-pound aluminum transformer. So what I'm going to do is load up a bunch of other stuff, and I have two pretty decent size aluminum transformers I'm going to break down tonight. And what I'll do is I'll go pick up that transformer first, and then on my way back I'll stop it because it's just about 30 minutes south of Miami where I sell my scrap. So I'm going to get a couple other ones ready to go, and when I pick that one up, I'll bring some tools to take it apart so that I can go right to the scrap yard, sell it all off so I'm not dragging that thing all the way back up here. And then we'll see if I can't maneuver my way back up through Palm Beach or whatever, see what other scrap I got. I really wasn't planning on picking up anything this week. I was trying to take the week off to clean up all this stuff and pour my concrete. So I'm going to try to hold off on actually buying any scrap until I'm done with my concrete. You know, I just need to stop and focus on this. You know, unfortunately, you can't always do that. If a customer calls, man, and they're sitting on some copper or something, you don't want to have them go somewhere else. It's like a very it's a tough situation is what it is. So anyway, we're going to get started, and then I'm going to come over here and move this stuff with the machine. I'm actually going to bring that tote there, which I believe has some nuggets in it, over to the table, and we're gonna scrap some stuff and try to get, let's figure, if we go down to Miami, we always want to go down there with minimum $1,000, so we need to try to hustle up $1,000 real quick. Can we do it? I don't know, man. We got a lot of cleaning, a lot of scrapping to do, and this isn't high dollar scrap. There's a bunch of tedious, miscellaneous, small stuff. But if we can find some nuggets in here, I think we can get there, man. We might be able to pull $400 out of copper, and then a bunch of aluminum and stainless, and Whatever we got, man, we'll figure it out. All right, we are getting kind of dialed in. I got me a bin over here for sheet metal. I think I'm going to use that other bin for aluminum. I'm not sure yet. I don't know if I'm going to have enough for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just clear the table real quick. It's just got a bunch of random crap on it, and I'm going to stack up all the motors, transformers, whatever, all that stuff. Put it on the back there. And oh, check this out. So I got that big bin from the scrapyard. They gave me a bin, and it came with some extrusions. I love free scrap. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and clear this up. These are pretty much ready to go, except for I got to pull the valve things out and knock that out. Those will go. What I did back here is I got to sort this. This is extrusions. That can go in the other bin. We can gain our drum. I pulled this bin out. There's not much in here. I don't know if that's copper in there or what. Well, maybe. Looks like aluminum, unfortunately. We got another fan motor. This was actually a nice thing, a louvered thing, but I got no use for it, and I can only keep so many fans. I got them laying all over the place. I don't even like that style fan because they're super loud, man. Like this thing here, when I turn it on, it's just humming away. I got to get a couple of those squirrel fans going that I got. Maybe put them in the corners and, I don't know, put some louvers on them or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just going to dump this out over there once I clear the table. I'll sort through this real quick. We got a bunch of these in here. Those are those copper ends from like that 600. I think I'm going to try to liberate the copper with the jaw. I got a pile of them over there. And then I'll bring this one over, dump it, sort through it real quick. It's just, there's not really a lot of stuff in there. It's just a bunch of random crap. So I'm hoping to get through that, get through these two drums. I don't even know what's in here. It's not really much. Oh, that's extrusion. Big heavy chunk of cast. You know, this is just a bunch of random stuff that's been sitting around. So hopefully we can pull some copper out of here. I know there's a thing over here. I think this thing has a couple nice little nuggets of copper in it. We'll have to get that up on the table. There's another bin of scrap right here. I still have some more of those aluminum things. They actually weigh. I might actually pull them over and get them in the bin. Okay, first things first, we got to work on the table. Huh. One of those things are any good. I need a valve stem for my car. I broke my, I guess I'm just going to have to order a new one. Well, actually all four. Oh. BMW, I'm not a fan. That one rim weighs 30 pounds. Pretty sure I get 80 or 90 cents a pound. I'm not sure. Last time I sold rims, it was like 70 something cents a pound, but it's gone up. This is genuine BMW. These things are not cheap. The genuine ones. We're gonna have to start an iron bucket. Where's my new favorite flathead? It better be here somewhere. What do you guys think about these stick-on weights? Are they even lead? Should I start saving lead to melt an ingot? We got 122 pounds on those aluminum rims. I had some more rims around here somewhere. Maybe I already scrapped them. But yeah, I'm gonna start. I don't know what that is. Looks like lead, feels like lead. We're just gonna start a pile of it, and we determine that it's not lead, and we'll move on from the deal. So I went out. Every time I go to Tractor Supply, I always look at their bargain bin or their clearance or their discounts. And this time they had a set of extended nut drivers. Now I use nut drivers like almost daily when I'm scrapping. And a lot of times I use extensions with them, and then they get all like wobbly and certain extensions, like here's a great example right here. You know, wobbly, and then it'll fall out sometimes. So I've learned it's actually great to have just a straight up extended. It's too big. And there's only 3 main sizes that I use. The rest of them, I don't know if I'll have on my cart, but I'm gonna need a little steel bucket that's close. Just put all these over here for now. Get our drill set up. I think I'm still missing an impact driver somewhere. I could have swore I had like 4 of these things, but I did move, and things got kind of hectic there. Alright. Let's see what we're going to do with this stuff. This stuff is like really tedious. I don't know if this is worth dealing with. Looking for my hatchet. Aha. I should find some safety glasses. Okay. That actually wasn't that bad. I think the hatchet is the way to go with that. And I think I am going to have to get the bin. But for now, we'll use this drum. This is going to be some tedious stuff. I'm just going to time-lapse clearing off the thing. I think Dakota took apart those little motors. Yeah, we're going to have a couple fan motors to pull the copper out of. Now, I've actually been liking these here. I cut one side, and then I've been slamming it on the table, and the copper just kind of falls right out. It's actually pretty cool. So we got a bunch of fans down here, a couple more like this. I think I got one more over there. So I'll get all that stuff broke down and processed down as far as we can. There's Dakota started taking them apart, but I don't think he realized that there was some cast on there and the iron, aluminum. But I'm assuming that's where these came from. I don't remember pulling these out. And those were those motors I did in a live stream that I didn't know if I wanted to actually go that far. But hey, look at that copper. There's some nuggets there. We'll pull it. We'll get them all out. Yeah, so I'm going to time-lapse this. And then I'll come back when I flip that over. We'll find some, maybe we'll find some treasures in there. And we'll just keep at it, man. We got to fill the bins. And get some copper in the bucket tonight. Okay, we got pretty much a clean bench, except for the copper. We're going to let that build up a little bit. Oh, that's aluminum. How sad. Yeah, I'm going to let that build up a little bit. And then I'll do them all at once here at the end. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to bring over that other tote, get a tear weight on it, and start filling it with the sheet, because I have those things over there. I think I'm going to knock them out real quick, because in the middle there is a piece of extrusion. So far what we got, I've been throwing prepared steel in here, a little bit of sheet, some iron aluminum, some cast, some extrusions, the number 2, and then all the steel. And that was just basically cleaning the bench and everything around it. I didn't even get to bring anything over. Oh, someone mentioned something about the coil leaning up against my press. That's actually a an ice maker thing. So once I start doing the copper, I'll have to set that ram up and pull that stainless steel off of the number 2 copper that's there. I think, what was it last time? 7 pounds? It was a couple pounds. Maybe it was 4 pounds. I don't remember. But in my opinion, it was definitely worth pulling it off. And with the long stroke ram, I was pretty much almost able to do it in one pull. But with that little ram that I got, that's going to be interesting to do. But we'll get it. Yeah, I'm going to make some room. Basically just push these drums probably back over there, so I can bring that machine straight through and get that steel bin, bring over an aluminum bin. It's not much in that bin there. I think I'll be able to process that stuff pretty fast. And then that other bin's got a little bit more high dollar stuff in it, and then the next bin over, it's got even more. I'm pretty sure I threw some nuggets in there, so we should be able to get in some copper. And it's getting kind of chilly out here, man. I don't know what the temperature is, but these the bugs aren't actually too bad tonight. Dude, yesterday it was crazy the amount of bugs that were out here. there's an actual category for these. I used to throw these in iron aluminum, but I'm going to see if they'll buy them separate. That almost look like extrusions, but I think it's just sheet metal. Probably a ton of brass in here. Yeah, bunch of brass screws. Fortunately, I ain't got the patience for this tonight. I was thinking they buy aluminum radiators at a lower price than like cast and sheet. I was thinking about cutting this core out, because all this is, that's all like clean sheet almost. I don't know if it'd be really worth the time, but this thing is heavy. And I think most of the weight is here. It would suck to get deducted for that. That one there, we're gonna have to knock the thing out. But also I got these. Which I think is like, it's either like a billet or extrusions or something. I don't know. I'm gonna keep this stuff separated and see what they say. I'm pretty sure that's almost like an extrusions. Chunk of cast. These exit signs. Steve looked these up. Some of these signs were actually worth like $5, $6, and I think even $700. And he thought we had a gold mine because we had a whole bunch brand new. Man, nobody wanted that stuff. He put them online. You know, that's a real, it's a shame because they were all brand new. They're cool because it's an LED and it lights this up. Now that there is definitely an extrusion. So is that. I think I just pulled the copper out of that one. Got a whole mess of this stuff. I don't know if it's going to be possible. Man, there's some nuggets in there. I think if I cut these with the jaw and then come down on them this way, I might be able to open these up. That's 600 right there. I got a whole pile of them over there. For something a pound, man, it'd be worth it. Those are big pieces of extruded aluminum. All kinds of copper up in here. I have to cut these and do one at a time. Might have to cut that up a little bit. Look at that copper that's in there. All right, that's actually pretty heavy. Should be able to get that copper out of there pretty easy. Heck yeah. All right. Some nice nice extrusions adding up pretty quick there. See if we can't cover this copper. Oh yeah. First nuggets of copper. I'm gonna say that's I'm gonna call that bright and shiny. We're gonna have to start a little. I'm not gonna have much bare bright today. Well, if I can get these nuggets out, I got a whole pile over there. It might add up pretty quick. Oh, we don't even need the vise. Although I should be wearing safety glasses. This is tedious, but we are pulling copper. Okay, I'm gonna run through all this stuff real quick, and there's not much there. It looks like a lot of steel, really. A couple little chunks of aluminum. I think there's 2 electric motors. We'll get up on the table. A little bit of copper. I'll go find the rest of this stuff here. I got a whole stack of it somewhere. Man, that weighs, man. I think that would be worth, if they got it in there up to there, I think it'd be worth cutting that with the jaw and then trying to open that. I had Steve was grinding them, and you know, I told him to grind both sides, but you know, sometimes he's stubborn. And he was just grinding one side and then trying to pry it open. I'm like, but even just grinding it, man, you're wasting blades. So I don't know about that. If we could do it with the jaw, I think it'd be worth it. If not, I don't know what I'm going to do with these. Maybe if I have to, I'll grind it. Man, I can't see sending that big nugget of copper as like steel or something. Any of this stuff, man. I hate, if there's a piece of aluminum in there, man, I want to get it out. If there's a piece of copper in there, I want to get it out. I don't like sending aluminum to the shred. And I know like sometimes it's just not worth it, you know, but it's still, as a scrapper, like this here, I'm going to get my torch out and I'm going to cut that, you know. I can't see sending that big chunk of cast. I don't know. Maybe I got a problem. Yeah, this is a bunch of steel. I don't even know if there's any copper in here. I think that's all aluminum, man. They're making all this crap out of aluminum now. I mean, it's just garbage. None of this stuff is made to last. Everything is designed with a lifespan, you know? They don't want, they just, Miranda, it kind of irks me. They don't want you, you know, buying something once and having it for a lifetime, or even passing it down to next generation. That's not even a thing anymore. It's like these engineers for these companies, they're told planned obsolete, something, whatever that word is. I can't think of it right now. Planned obsolescence, I think. Something like that. Anyway, it's pretty sad that we're even, we allow these companies to do that. You know, if a company's make product that's not lasting, we should stop buying from them, you know? Unfortunately, they pretty much got it all locked up. Anyway, enough yapping. We're going to get back to scrapping. All right, I got everything from that basket just about completely processed, except for the motors and those things, which I'll do kind of at the end all at once. But we're getting a nice little chunk of, I threw the motors, the ballast, and the AC compressors in that bin. Kind of short on bins. I cut that coil, so I got all that good. I'm going to throw that with the cast. The cast and the sheet are the same price right now. I'm getting a good chunk of extrusions, a little bit of irony, a bunch of prepared. But now we got this big giant main breaker type deal, and I'm pretty sure all these lugs down here are copper. So we'll get some copper out of here. These I like to chomp with the jaw. When we get that out, I'll cut up a bunch of stuff all at once. So let's not waste any time and just get right into this thing. I don't know about this bar, but we're gonna cut it out of the way. And this 7-inch disc on the 4-inch grinder is pretty awesome. If we can course, the last one. I think it's just it's got that, you know, these guys are funny. They put that tar stuff in there. I think the only thing holding it in is those. Wow. Oh man, you know what they did? Bet you they tarred that in. We might just have to let that piece go. As much as I hate to do it. Yeah, I should have just left that in there. I'll just leave this in there. It's got a piece of copper on it. This is some type of isolator. Oh, wow. Oh. Huh. We're just lock that in. Call that good. This thing was 50 horsepower, whatever this thing was. I don't know. It's got a serious switch on it though. That's all ready to go. This looks like it's going to be a nightmare. Haha. These spacers are even copper. Wow. That's why you always got to check, man. You never know. Fortunately, those are steel. Plates, those are steel. That's a nice clean piece of copper right there, number 2. So this thing looks like it's bolted through. It's got that tar. I'm not messing with it. We're just gonna cut it with the grinder. Nice chunk. All right, finally getting some copper up. Oh, this is steel. Now, these, let's just do the vise. Yeah, man, if you weren't paying attention, you'd hardly even know that that was copper. That's extrusions. Probably do a couple of these at once. We're starting to get a nice pile of copper up here. Not enough, but it's a decent little pile. I'm gonna go over here and decide which one of these I want next. I might do these drums. I could use some drums. Just blow through this drum real quick. I could probably just grab that with the hand cart. And there's a lot of extrusions in here. All that's extruded. Those frames, this whole light, some heavy steel, aluminum box. Okay. I think I'm gonna grab this and see what we got. So this video is probably getting long, but I want to do one more bin, or at least I'm going to do these 2 barrels. I don't know if I'm going to get to that bin, and I got to get that transformer out of there. However I do that, I'll probably move all this stuff with the machine and that other transformers, because I'm going to pick up another transformer like that, and I want to get it all out here at once, you know. And unfortunately, I really don't have time to mess with that. I'd like to throw that with the irony. I got some more irony up here. Stupid aluminum transformers. And all this stuff that can go in the iron bin. This will go. This was that first motor. I decided I didn't know if I was going to do it, but I guess I'm going to do it all now. Yeah, we got quite the little chunk of copper to pull. This is some nice little micro scrapping. Oh, I should have cut that when I had the plasma cutter up. I don't know how much more I'm going to do. I'm kind of getting tired. It's been a long day, man. I messed with that trailer earlier today and offloaded that machine and did a bunch of stuff. over here by myself. I'm going to take a break though and get some more iced tea. And then we're going to come back. I'm going to pull them bins over here. We're going to cut these stators and we'll get all the motors and stuff that need to be cut and pulled up on the table. And I'm going to bring that jaw over here, hook it to that pump. And see if I really hope I can liberate these. That's going to be interesting. Otherwise, I got to use the grinder. And I am super impressed with this grinding disc. I've been using this thing for days. And it really hasn't lost that much or that much at all. So if you get your chance, superior quality, they ain't kidding. It seems like a CN Dome Professional Tools. I like it. I'd buy it. I think he said they only you get them online in a pack of 50. I'll tell you where we're going, right to the scrap yard. Dancing. You ever seen your copper dance before?